Yeah, I think it's fair to say that we're probably in agreement that we want well-planned density. And I think it is coming. Part of the issue, which I think it sounds like we are also in agreement with, is that we have very old zoning, right?
What'd you say? Very old?
Very old.
Oh, very old. Sorry.
And with design, Los Angeles.
Variable too, depending on what you get.
That's yeah, I agree with that as well. If you look at sort of the zoning of most major cities in the U.S., it looks nothing like LA's. If you look at the zoning of the suburbs of most major cities, it looks like LA's. And so that was just a product of the fact that LA initially was really very low density for a place of its size, and now though it's grown so much and we put ourselves in a box, right? That we want to build more housing, but our zoning is designed more like suburban zoning. And so now we are in this situation where, if you would like to build something that's even moderately dense on a lot of parcels, not all of them, but you have to change the zoning, right? You were saying that before, it becomes very prohibitive to do it otherwise, either in terms of cost or in terms of the regulations. So I think perhaps where we agree is that yes, more density is coming, and where we disagree is that, as we figure out how we're going to do it, are we in a position right now to justify stopping it short?
Okay, thank you. I want to keep going, but I'm seeing some questions, so I'm going to try, and Paul is very, but let me go to Lucia first and then Paul.
I'd like to,
and Natalie, sorry.
Mark, assuming you're
Yeah,
opposed,
Lucia, can you
To me, the mic now.
to Mike and Mark, you're opposed to Measure S. Can we trust our politicians, our mayor, our council members to move in the direction that we can all agree on, which is planning properly, the procedure, the process? Can we trust Mayor Garcetti and whoever council members in whatever areas? Do we have to force their hand to have a discussion? Is Measure S that discussion that now people are scrambling to oppose or to support it? Who wants to put out their crystal ball and figure this out? Or do we push the conversation?
That's a great point. I think that's the core, really at the core of a lot of the issues. I'd love to hear what you folks have to say about that.
Well, yeah, I think, it's possible that one very good thing about Measure S is the threat of Measure S. Right? Yeah, that I don't, because it's important to remember that there is nothing in Measure S that says, by this time, we have to have this conversation to update these plans, right? There's nothing in the measure that says it's time to really get serious and have a citywide conversation about what we want LA to look like, right? It's the specter of Measure S has forced us to come together and have these conversations, but passing it doesn't advance that agenda. And so, do I know if we can trust our officials? Probably not. But let me remind you, right, there's nothing in Measure S to make them more trustworthy. It's not a campaign finance reform measure. It's not a measure that prohibits payoffs, right? It's not a measure that stops lobbying. And if you think our city council members are as menial as we think they are, I'm sure they will find other ways to get money, right? I'm sure of it, right? So I mean, so the question is, yeah, we do have a deficit, and I don't know if we can trust these people, right? And so it's good that there is this threat, but again, like if you have a gnat, you don't kill it with a sledgehammer, right? Too much.
So I think Jack and Mark want to speak to that. Go ahead.
So just to add on what Mike said, is that whatever good is in Measure S has been done, whatever harm it can cause will be caused if you vote for it. And just to add to the city planning process, right? Essentially, you need money and staff to update plans, and you need people not to sue to overturn them. Right? And so the city's getting serious about the first two. It's up to the groups who, for example, stopped the Hollywood plan to lay off the future plans, because when you sue over CEQA in a court, it's a crapshoot. You never know where it's going to go. I feel like we should all come together as a city and be like, let's update the plans. Let's let the neighbors, converse about what they want their part of the city to look like, and then let them pass and let us work under them. Because otherwise, Hollywood plan 8 years, knocked out in court, right? St. Petersburg plan has been 11 years in the making. You know, so it's not just on the politicians and planners to do it; it's also the people to allow them to go forward.
Okay, go ahead, Jack.
The Hollywood plan. The Hollywood plan was put together and was based on faulty assumptions. Alan Goodman, who's the judge, who's a decent guy, went out there and said, hey, this thing doesn't work. So it wasn't not only that somebody sued, but it also agreed that a judge, who's a respected judge, agreed with it. So the Hollywood plan was based on faulty assumptions of growth. I think in terms of trusting the politicians, you're asking the wrong guy here. I don't trust those son of a bitches as far as I can throw them. And I've been a student of the city and the money of the city for about 10 years, and I think I have a fairly good feel for it. They've gone downtown now. They passed something where we're gonna control the EIRs and the traffic studies. They're saying we're gonna plan, do some planning, although they haven't figured out how to finance it yet. That's a minor detail, especially given that the city is facing. Wait until April 20th, you see the disaster that's going to happen to our city budget. It is an absolute mess. That's something. So where's the money going to come from? They're not having it. They don't say anything about spot zoning and these things. They don't say anything about monitoring it, and monitoring in particular all the climate change stuff that they basically neglected over time. So, and then they've come out and they said, well, we're going to have some reform of campaign finance. We're not going to take money from developers. My comment on this one is, yes, S is doing a lot of stuff. I mean, it's the fear of Measure S as getting these guys getting their ass in here. The problem is that Measure S doesn't pass. Do you think that they're going to keep on going with, keep on doing on this path? The answer to that is absolutely no. You think you're going to have campaign finance reform? Dream on if you're thinking that. Do you think they're going to update the plans on an accelerated basis? Where's the money coming from? They said they need, the planning department said they wanted to allocate money, $35 million a year, pursuant to a charter measure similar to what with Rec and Parks and the library. That didn't see the light of day. So yes, we have the fear of S. Do you trust them to continue on this thing? I think the answer to that is absolutely no.
All right. Thank you very much. Paul, you had a question.
Thank you. You call yourself a student of the city. You're obviously a professor of urban land use and other related issues. But you said that LA's plan doesn't look like any other plans. And wouldn't that make sense with the fact that LA's plans don't look like the plans of any other cities? This is what everybody's not integrating. LA doesn't look like other cities because it's a horizontal city, and our landscape is all of ours. And not only that, our government structure is set up in a horizontal manner. So we don't have a government through the city of LA that is like a northeastern New York, Chicago, Boston. Learn it. Our city council is a group of 16 people who, along with the mayor, control everything. And that means decisions are not vertical, because our landscape is not vertical. And so we need to plan in a way that takes into consideration where we are. We're in a very spread out place. And transportation is changing so rapidly. You guys are talking about building things in the next 2 years, during which time we may no longer need parking. So those parking blocks at the bottom of all the projects you're in a rush to get, dropped on us for 100 years, with their built-in obsolete, retro-changeable bottom floor of parking that we may not ever, I can tell you from a perspective of somebody who's can only access units that are ADA accessible. When I go to a meeting of builders who they know nothing about the ADA, which was the law 25 years ago, there is no way that in 2 years, if we actually built energy efficient, resilient, transportation forward buildings, 2 years is enough time for us to actually do the things that we talk about being leaders in, as far as our environmental leadership globally. We need these 2 years to stop the construction of ugly block square space gobbling, inefficient, resource intensive. I mean, we need to get smart, and maybe if world-leading efficiency thing, I'm sorry, I'm going too deep.
All right. Okay, that was it. I don't know that there was a question, but there was a lot there. Let's go to another comment, and then I'm going to try to keep us moving. So let's see, I did commit to you and Natalie, and so then I'll do those two, and then we'll keep going.
Great. Thank you for putting this on, the panel up there. A couple things. One will be a question, or both questions. If Measure S passes, I understand from a couple of panelists that their vision is there will be this harm done. What if Measure S doesn't pass? What harm looms ahead if Measure S doesn't pass?
Why don't we take that one? Any thoughts about that?
I got to throw in the part B though. I don't want to lose.
Oh, you want to make sure you want to do that now? Okay, go for it.
Okay, talk about density. Is there a limit in your eyes as to how much density, how much population Los Angeles can handle? And as the previous speaker said, this is different than the East Coast cities. We're spread out. We shouldn't try and, I don't think we should try and emulate them. I came out here years ago, and I've seen the changes, and we all see what the traffic is now and all. I mean, I think mathematically speaking, the earth, for that matter, can only hold so many people.
Okay. So I think we talked about density already, but maybe circling back a little bit.
I have an interesting fact, again, from planners, the city. As it is now, zoned, without spot zoning changes, without GPA, without even any revision to the master plan, the city is zoned and fully built as zoned, which is a lot of lower intensity, for 8 million people, the city. So 8 million people could live here even in one.
I want to, so Mark is shaking his head, so Mark, I'd like to hear why you're shaking your head.
Because it's false. The city is zoned for 4.3 or 4.5 million people. There's been extensive downzoning over the past 30 years, and in the city plan, in the city, housing element and general plan, they give numbers that are more in the 4-point-something million. And so essentially we've been, we used to have like this room to grow into, whether we were doing a good job of planning or not. And now we're going up to the limit. It's causing these shortages, these low vacancy rates. It's creating problems.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Natalie, and yeah, sure, Mike, go ahead, and then Natalie, and then we'll move on.
I think another reason why there's sometimes confusion about exactly what the city is zoned for is that if you just look at sort of what's called like the allowable density in the zoning, the number you get is higher than what you can actually build. Because oftentimes you'll have a parcel that says that, oh, well, we could build 20 units on it. But then when you look at what the developer actually has to do to build 20 units, which in many parts of the city might mean build 20 parking spaces too, or 23.7 parking spaces or something like that, there's no way you can actually affordably do that on that piece of land. And so the binding constraint of building is often something different than what the zoning says is the density. So you have an allowable density that might be 4 or 4 million, but if you talk to anyone who builds, like it's very, very hard to actually maximize the number of units on a parcel. And so even the paper capacity of the city is much lower than that.
Okay, thank you. So that that might in part explain the disparity between these two numbers. Okay,
one is an absolute in zoning, and the other is a very changing economic atmosphere and all sorts of things, and that changes a lot, up, down, sideways.
Would you agree with that, Mark?
They are both important, but the absolute number is not. It's closer to the existing population.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. So, okay, go ahead.
One of the problems you have here is that we haven't had a discussion in the city about planning. JJJ went out there. The city council was asked to have hearings on it, and they didn't do squat. They did